I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons, my Bibliospran, Bibliohowlers, and Bibliomancers. Thank you so much for supporting my hobby and passion even more. It means so much to me. Hi everyone, Petrik here. So today's video is one of my favorite annual video to make, and that is to talk about my top 10 priority series that I want to start and hopefully finish next year. So in the year 2023, just like always, I plan to start and finish 10 series. But I also have to be realistic about this, because this year, even though I had 10 priority series that I want to start and finish, I managed to finish probably only 5, and that depends entirely on my reading this month. But in total, I managed to start reading 7 series, but I couldn't finish 2 of them, and I couldn't get to reading the other 3. To be fair, I always mention that even though I have these priority series that I want to start and finish, it all still depends entirely on my reading experience of the first or the second book of the series, and also on my reading mood at that time. So I hope you will understand that these rules still apply to these 10 series that I want to start and finish next year. And yeah, it has been a while since Chocoboy appeared in my channel, so say hi, Choco, come on. Yeah. We'll see how long this boy will stay quiet in this video. So yeah, let's get started immediately, and the first series that I want to start and finish next year is the Sun Eater series by Christopher Ruocchio. This shouldn't come as a surprise. I have mentioned so many times throughout the past few months on my channel that I will start reading and hopefully finish the Sun Eater series in the year 2023. So I heard from Christopher Ruocchio and a few readers that there is a good chance that the 6th and final book in the Sun Eater series will be published in late 2023 or early 2024. So it is quite likely that I will get around to reading Empire of Silence, the first book in the Sun Eater series, either in the second half of 2023 or maybe even earlier. It depends, because it has been really hard for me to postpone reading Sun Eater for quite a while now, because this is one of those series that I think I really will love. It's been a while since I am this excited about reading space opera and sci-fi series. It's been a while, and many people told me that if you are a reader who loved the Kingkiller Chronicles series and also the Red Rising Saga, then it is most likely that you will love the Sun Eater. And well, the Kingkiller Chronicle and also the Red Rising Saga, both of them are some of my top favorite series of all time. So yeah, I'm so excited about reading the Sun Eater series, and as you can see, I own the hardcover for Empire of Silence up to the Kingdoms of Death already, the 4th book. And I have pre-ordered Ashes of Men, the 5th book in the series, and it should be on its way to me right now. The cover art of the first book is done by Sam Weber, and then the rest of the series, the cover art is done by Kieran, Yenner, and they all look absolutely stunning. There are 5 books so far in the series, and as I said, the 6th book will be the final book in the series, and then there are also so far 2 novellas and 2 collection of short stories. I will try to read through them all. And the next priority series that I want to start and finish next year is again another sci-fi and space opera series, and that is Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. So in the US, the Skyward series has been marketed as YA, but in the UK, I heard that the Skyward series is marketed for adult readers. So I think this will be like Mistborn Shuji, which in my opinion is a crossover between YA fantasy and also adult fantasy. And I haven't started reading Skyward series at all. And one of my goals in the year 2023 is to read more sci-fi and space opera books, because you know what? In the year 2022, turns out I've read only one. Yes, I've read only one sci-fi and space opera novel. That is really bad. That is a really bad statistic for me, because sci-fi is actually one of my favorite subgenre. It is kinda insane that I've read only one sci-fi novel and space opera in this year. So on top of the Sun Eater series and also rereading the Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown next year, I will also have the entire Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson to start and finish next year. That's more than 15 books of sci-fi and space opera novels already, and not gonna lie, I've been feeling that urge to read sci-fi books lately, and I think I will get what I want in next year. The last book in the Skyward series will be published in November 2023, so just like the Sun Eater, it is most likely that I will start reading Skyward series at the second half of 2023. But as I said in the beginning of this video, it all depends on my reading mood. I just might end up reading it sooner than I thought. The quantity of Skyward series will be 4 novels and 3 novellas. And after that, I plan to read another sci-fi series, but this one is more precise to be called science fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. So this is The Mother of Learning by Nobody 103 or Domagoj Krumike. So I'm trying to enter The Mother of Learning with as little knowledge as possible. So all I know about this series is that it features time loop and maybe time travel. That's all I think I know, and I plan to keep it that way because I want to be surprised and compelled by this series. And I have a feeling that The Mother of Learning is the kind of series where if you have as little knowledge as possible, entering into it, you will enjoy it even more. So yeah, I look forward to reading The Mother of Learning next year. I heard from plenty of readers that this is one of the best web novel series out there, and also this is one of the best story with time loop. Okay, hold on, I think Choco is sleepy. Oop, off you go. Moving on to the next priority series that I want to read, and this one is a trilogy. This is the Rise and Fall trilogy by Michael J. Sullivan. So yeah, this is a series that will take place after the Legends of the First Empire, but before the Rhyria books. It is a series of 3 standalone novels, and the final book in the trilogy will be released in the year 2023. The trilogy consists of Nolin, Farilyn, and the final book, Ezra Haddon. For those of you who have read the Rhyria books, you will know who Ezra Haddon is. Ezra Haddon is one of the most important characters in the Rhyria books, especially in the Rhyria Revelations. And I am so excited to read the Rise and Fall trilogy because this year I've read, I think, 12 books. 12 books by Michael J. Sullivan. I did a second read of the entire Rhyria Revelations, and I also finished the entire Legends of the First Empire series this year. So yeah, that's in total 9 books, or to be more precise, 12 books by Michael J. Sullivan this year. So yeah, that's a lot. And undoubtedly, it will be a priority of mine to start and finish the Rise and Fall trilogy by Michael J. Sullivan next year, which means after I'm done with that trilogy, it will mean that I have finally caught up with all of Michael J. Sullivan's novel. So yeah, that is insane, and I look forward to achieving that goal. And then the next priority series that I want to start and finish next year, it is the entire Osten art saga by Ted Williams. So the entirety of the Osten art saga was my priority in the year 2021, but I wasn't able to get around to it because originally the reason why I put the entire Osten art saga as one of my priority series in the year 2021, it was because I heard that The Navigator's Children, which will become the final book in the Last King of Osten art series, will be released in the year 2021. But that was not confirmed. And now it has been confirmed that The Navigator's Children, final book in the Last King of Osten art series, will most likely be published in November 2023. So the Osten art saga right now consists of 2 series, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy, and then the Last King of Osten art series. That's in total 7 books, 7 big books. The word count for 2 Green Angel Tower is more than 500,000 words long. I am so excited to finally start reading the Osten art saga next year. So excited. I've heard only great things about this series, and many have told me that if I love Robin Hobb's prose, and also there is a good chance that I will love the Osten art saga. And yeah, in total, the Osten art saga is 7 novels and 2 novellas long. So that's a total of 9 books. And then the next priority series, I'm not gonna lie, I have to be realistic about this. I do not think that I will be able to finish this one next year, and that is The Wars of Light and Shadow by Janny Wurts. So this one, in a similar situation to the Osten art saga by Ted Williams, this was my priority series of this year, but I haven't even started reading the first book, The Curse of the Mistwraith. And the reason behind this is simply because I'm not in the right mood to actually try reading this complex and dense series this year. I'm just not in the right mood for it, and I know that there's a really big chance that I will love Janny Wurts books, but I also know that I will have to be in the right reading mood for it. So my goal right now for Wars of Light and Shadow, if possible, I want to start and finish the entire series next year. The final book in the series, Song of the Mysteries, hasn't been confirmed to be released next year, but I think there's a good chance it will happen. But this series is 11 big books long, and I heard that it is as complex as Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. It is as dense, intricate, and complex. So my goal, of course, is to finish Wars of Light and Shadow within 2023, but I think it is most likely that I will just start reading the series next year. Let's see how many books in the Wars of Light and Shadow series that I will get to read next year. And the next priority series that I want to start and finish next year is again trapped in a similar situation to the Osten art saga and Wars of Light and Shadow. So this is The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. The Book of the New Sun was one of my priority series that I want to start and finish this year. But again, due to the same reasons why I haven't started reading Wars of Light and Shadow, I haven't started Book of the New Sun as well, because I heard from so many readers that this is, even though it's only 4 books long, and in terms of word count, it is so much shorter than Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson, but pretty much everyone, whether they love or dislike the series, pretty much everyone agreed that this one is even more complex than Malazan Book of the Fallen, and that is insane. But I heard that if I end up enjoying this series, it will be one of the most rewarding series that I ever get to read. So just like Words of Light and Shadow, I'm just hoping that I will get to read the Book of the New Sun next year. With the Folio Society books that I got from my booktuber friends, it's about time I finally use this edition. I've been looking forward to reading the Book of the New Sun using this edition for quite a while now, and I hope that I can get to that next year. But the Book of the New Sun is a classic, and the next priority series that I want to read is again a classic that I ashamedly have to admit I haven't read yet, and this is the Earthsea Cycle by Ursula Guin. So yeah, I know I have mentioned plenty of times on my channel that my first experience with Ursula Guin's story, it was through the Studio Ghibli adaptation for Earthsea, and I was just insanely bored with that adaptation. But ever since starting my own channel, ever since mentioning why I haven't read Earthsea yet on my channel, many fans of the series have voiced this opinion that the movie is a far cry from the books. So next year, I hope to start and finish the 6 books in Earthsea Cycle by Ursula Guin, and I hope that I will love this as much as the fans of the series did, because so many people actually love the books of the Earthsea. And moving on to the next one, the next priority series that I want to start and finish next year, it is The Keeper Chronicles by G.A. Andrews. So this one has so often been compared to the Rhyria Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan. Pretty much everyone said that if I love the Rhyria books, I really have to read Janny Andrews' books, and I plan to make that happen next year. I don't know anything else about this series. I know that there are 2 series in this world right now. The first one is The Keeper Chronicles, and the other series is a prequel series titled The Keeper Origin. So I think this will be something a bit similar to the Rhyria Revelations and also the Rhyria Chronicles. But the praises toward The Keeper Origins is insane. It is insanely high. And if possible, I also want to read The Keeper Origins next year. But again, let's be realistic. With my constantly fluctuating reading mood and overwhelming TBR pile, let's just hope that I can get around to reading the first trilogy first. And finally, the last priority series that I want to start and finish in the year 2023, it is the Fatemarked series by David Estes. So the Fatemarked series is one of the most often recommended epic fantasy, epic sub-published fantasy series. So many times Amazon recommended Fatemarked series to me. And although I've seen this series so many times, I haven't gotten around to reading it. My interest in reading Fatemarked series wasn't sparked until I saw one of the comments on my channel mentioning how much he loved the Fatemarked series and also the Kingfall History series, which is a prequel series to the Fatemarked series. So both of these 2 series are each 5-book series. So in total, Fatemarked plus Kingfall Histories in total is 10 books long. But there are 2 separate series taking place in the same world. And obviously, if it's possible, I want to read both series next year. But again, I do not think that will be possible. I mean, Fatemarked alone is a huge 5-book series already. So yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I will love Fatemarked series. I heard that this one is very suitable to those who love the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson and many other classic fantasy series told with the modern narrative. And the comparison with the Stormlight Archive series is even more evident in the second series, which is the Kingfall Histories series. But again, I do not think that I will be able to get around to reading that in the year 2023. So Fatemarked first next year. So that's all 10 priority series that I want to start and finish next year. I do not know how many of them I will be able to actually finish, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed at least half, at least 5 of them. But there is actually one more series, though I do not think it is correct to call this a series, because this is a web novel that I want to start and finish in the year 2023. So this is Worm by Wildbow or John McCrae. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this web novel series, but this web novel is huge. In terms of word count, it's almost as big as 5 books in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. I have no idea whether I can read this one next year or not, but I want to. I really want to, because I'm not gonna tackle The Wandering Inn for now, because The Wandering Inn is now more than 10 million words long, even though I heard nothing but pretty much masterpiece things about that series. But 10 million words long is a huge commitment, and I do not think it is the right time for me to start reading The Wandering Inn first before diving into other highly praised web novel with fewer word count first, like Worm. So yeah, that's really pretty much all the priority series that I want to start and finish next year. That's in total more than 50 books. I know that's a lot of books, and that's why I said that it all depends on my reading mood and also whether I actually enjoy reading the series or not, because sometimes it could totally be, although I hope it doesn't happen, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes I read the first books or the first two books and then I end up being thoroughly disappointed and well, I didn't end up continuing with the series, understandably. Sometimes that could happen, but hopefully not. So that's all the priority series that I want to start and hopefully finish next year. Do tell me which of the series that you love and you think I really should prioritize, and please tell me what's the priority series that you want to attempt reading next year. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.